Yep, it's true. Even our royal queen, Queen Elizabeth, was a little person with a big dream, and this is her Little People Big Dreams story, Queen Elizabeth. So shall we see this merry story, shall we? Once upon a time in London lived a little girl with a huge sense of duty. Her parents and little sister used to call her Lilibet, but to the rest of the world she was Princess Elizabeth Alexandra Mary, King George's granddaughter. Elizabeth loved dogs and horses and dreamed of living on a farm. But one day she heard chants on the street. Her uncle Edward had given up the crown, which meant her father would become king and she would be heiress to the throne. The family moved to Buckingham Palace, and the 10-year-old princess left her old life behind. From that day on, she would be taught how to be the next queen. The first lesson was simple. A good queen serves her people, not the other way around. Not 3 years had passed when Britain was forced to enter a terrible war. Even in the darkest nights under the enemy's bombs, Elizabeth never lost hope that a brighter day would come. She sent a message to all children telling them so. That's good of her. She was 19 and had just finished her training as a driver in the army when the war ended. After waving to the crowds from the palace's balcony, she and her sister set off to join the street celebrations in secret, swept along by happiness and relief. Elizabeth then fell in love with a charming prince named Philip, and saved her ration coupons to buy the fabric for her wedding dress. More than 360 people worked to make it. After the horrors of the war, the country had something to hope for. But Elizabeth's happiness was overshadowed not long ago after by the death of her dear father. Overnight, the young princess became queen of all kingdoms all over the world, from England to faraway South Africa. Being the queen was not a fairy tale, but a full-time job with a long list of duties that needed to be fulfilled. From receiving important guests and meeting the Prime Minister every week, to addressing the nation and opening dozens of ceremonies. It was exhausting. But being a queen gave Elizabeth the chance to be part of some splendid moments too. And even better, she had the fortune to meet unforgettable people who had made the world a better place. See, like Stephen Hawking, the Beatles, Jane Austen, Elton John, and more. No matter how much everything changed around her, Elizabeth tried to stay up to date. She started a new tradition of walking through the crowds to say hello, and she signed a law that gave girls the same right as boys to inherit the throne. That's thoughtful of her, wasn't it? Elizabeth travelled overseas more than 250 times, receiving the most unusual gifts, from a pair of cowboy boots to an elephant called Jumbo. However, nothing felt better than sleeping on the same bed all summer at Balmoral Castle. She has welcomed many grandchildren and great-grandchildren to the royal family, as well as 30 lovely corgi dogs. Their dinner is freshly prepared at the palace kitchen. They are the secret to her happy reign. And after 70 long years of putting her duty first, little Lilibet became the most admired and longest reigning queen in the world. Maybe it wasn't her childhood dream, but she was the queen that her people dreamed of. Wow. So, do you perchance think it was a good book? One thought it did. So, tell me what you think in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe and comment. Cheerio!